Greetings on this Wednesday. Thanks as always for spending a little time with us, even though it's been a pretty significant undertaking keeping you up to date with all the election trial coverage in McGoffin County for the past several days, as we have. Being away from the desk, even though I was in-house for 2 days, kind of makes it feel like I've been out of the newsroom, so to speak, and that feels just a bit odd. And to be honest with you, I really even debated on whether or not I was even going to come into work today. And I mean, you know, well, why should I? I've got $500 million right here. As do a lot of other folks. That's not even a current ticket. But a lot of folks are buying lottery tickets today. And in case you don't know, the Powerball jackpot has rolled over, snowballed into $500 million, maybe even then some tonight with a flurry of expected late sales. You've got until 10 o'clock tonight to get a ticket. The drawing is at 1 minute till 10 o'clock tonight to get a ticket. 1 minute till 11 is when the drawing takes place. Best of luck to you. Remember, your favorite news personality here in the newsroom, should you be so lucky, should anyone. And I don't know, might be a little too much of a good thing in a way. Nevertheless, the Powerball jackpot has reached $500 million, and that's not, of course, the biggest one in history. It was close to $600 million, I think, some time back. Nevertheless, we've got a lot of other news on a much more serious note to talk about this evening, including a copper theft. It's risen to an entirely new level, and also some fiscal court coverage from Johnson County as we're expanding our outreach to cover local government and other meetings in neighboring counties that we have coverage in, and a whole lot of other announcements and news to get caught up on, a lot of birthdays, sadly some funeral service announcements and the like that I haven't covered since last week in regards to the election coverage, election trial coverage that's been ongoing for the first 2 days of this week. So it's going to be a bit of catch up here for some of the show. Well, to be perfectly honest, with all the work that I have done on covering that case for you here, I've done nothing else, with my sole focus being on that. So I was a little, to put it politely, caught off guard by the weather that has really ramped up. We're talking about 3 big hits of Arctic air. We're talking about some good chances of some snow. There's sleet, there's freezing rain, all in the forecast, with winter still very much having a very tight grasp on much of the nation, and that does include all of the viewing area. It's going to be in a couple of, well, actually 3 different phases between now and the next several days. An area of low pressure is going to move out of the Great Lakes and across the central and eastern Ohio Valley region late tonight and tomorrow. The precipitation with that is going to start out as rain for some folks around midnight tonight, but will quickly mix with snow. The precipitation expected to transition to all snow between 3 and 6 o'clock in the morning. That is from northwest to southeast. At this time, it appears as though the best time frame for accumulating snow will be between 7 and 10 a.m. tomorrow, so a snow day is in the works, possibly for a lot of students. Up to an inch of snow, not a big snowmaker, but up to an inch of snow will be possible for most of eastern Kentucky late tonight and tomorrow. I've also got a forecast that details that more, as well as it does another Arctic front that comes in for your weekend that gives us very low single-digit temperatures close to the 0 mark on your Saturday night, and 2 more hits of winter thereafter, and maybe even more around the bend from there. Punxsutawney Phil may have known very well what he was talking about. In a couple of reports before we get to local headlines on this Wednesday, referred to as the AT&T bill, which quickly became one surrounded by controversy. That bill to deregulate local phone service in much of Kentucky, meaning that the Public Service Commission would have no regulatory control over it, was approved in House Bill 152 last Thursday. But since more than a half dozen amendments have been filed to that bill, and on the House floor, House Speaker Greg Stumbo says that he is critical of this passing and now voices his concerns. Now a Senate committee has approved its own version as of today. It is now known as Senate Bill 3, and it may also be brought to a vote sometime early next week. The proposal has been up for debate for several years now, I think almost 4 years in Kentucky's legislature. It would largely take away any oversight that the Kentucky Public Service Commission has over telephone service and in the obligation of major phone carriers such as AT&T, Cincinnati Bell, others to provide basic hardwired landline phone service in urban and suburban areas in parts of Kentucky, in the outside areas of Lexington, Richmond, Frankfort, and others. The companies instead could provide phone service through a wireless plan or something based on the internet. Rural customers, though, living in those phone exchanges with fewer than 15,000 homes could request that they keep their landline phones, but the companies would not be required to do so, although many say that they will leave them intact. And from there we go on to, I tell you what, since I am catching up just a bit, let me get you caught up on a few words from some of our sponsors. And when we come back, we'll talk about copper theft, which has risen to a new level since my 16 years and counting, I guess, on the program. I'll have that story next. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. One of my carriers tells me tonight that they have been the target of copper thefts and vandalism for years, but especially in the past several months, that has really gone above and beyond any copper theft that I have reported in the more than 16 years that I've been behind this desk. For example, Foothills tells me that in the past few months alone, they've had more than 40 complaints and issues with copper theft, and just on one occasion, over the course of the weekend, nearly 1,000 feet of very large and very expensive copper line was cut. However, it was not taken, as it's believed that thieves on this one occasion may have been spooked off by an employee who was out to try to keep these individuals from causing any more damages and causing any more inconveniences to their customers. And with all that in mind, there's also a $5,000 reward for any information. Of all the copper thefts that I've covered over the years here behind this desk, this is the largest, I do believe, both in the quantity monetarily of items stolen and or damaged, and to the extent which thieves have gone to steal and destroy infrastructure to not just one, but in all, several area businesses. John Blair of Foothills Telephone says it's been going on for years, but it's gotten much worse in the recent months and even in the past couple of weeks. He says the worst of it originally started in Lawrence County around US 23 and has since moved into Johnson.
They would just cut our copper, it was almost every other night. A lot of times it was every night. I never could catch them. Now, since then, they've moved to Johnson County along US Route 23. They started here about a month ago, a month and a half, somewhere through there. Every time we get close to catching them, they move on. No longer they go from stealing our copper cable to vandalizing our fiber optic cable. They'll cut it. Yesterday morning, they cut our fiber. It knocked down 2 Appalachian Wireless cell towers and some CSX railroad circuits. So not only are they affecting our customers' landline, they're also affecting their cellular services.
Blair also says there's every reason to believe that these thieves may have some experience in this field based on what they found.
Well, they're very familiar with the utility industry. They're very good climbers. They know the difference between copper and fiber. They're very clean at what they're doing. So there's more than one individual. There's more than one vehicle. Last Saturday morning, about 4 a.m., I spotted it was a white. I pulled in behind and got the license number for it was either a white Toyota Camry or a Honda Accord with West Virginia tags. It was a bogus tag. The sheriff's deputies told me that it come back to nothing. So they're swapping tags. I don't think they're from West Virginia. I think they're somewhere it's in our service area. They know our territory. They know what we have up there. They're putting a lot of work in it. They're parking on the side of US 23. Some of our cable routes are pretty good. They're a long way off the road. They're up on the hill. This instance right here, the 600 pair cable that they attempted to steal Saturday morning. They parked on US 23. They crossed the state right-of-way fence, crossed the creek, walked up a side road in the Whitensville community. It was a very steep hill. They climbed up. They climbed the poles, delashed the cable from the existing strand, brought it down to the ground, then cut it. And just so happened, when I pulled in behind that car, I didn't know they was up there. You couldn't see. It's a very secluded area, and they didn't get a chance to steal this, so we wrecked it out and brought it back in. And then the copper theft yesterday morning, you can't even see the route from the road where they's parked, so they know what they're doing. They're putting a lot of work and effort in this.
And that's pretty obvious when you look at all this wire on this trailer. These sticks were all part of one piece, and this is only about a third of what was originally there. That part of that one piece that thieves had already cut and had down, but may have gotten spooked off by Mr. Blair before they had a chance to load it up and get away with it. Each one of these sticks, for example, has 1,200 tiny copper wires inside. After the outside insulation, if you will, is melted off, maybe $10, $15 per stick is what they're worth. But it's not just the thieves making money, it's also some serious money for the recycling facilities who are willing to take it.
Well, the price of copper these days for us to put it back is just skyrocketing. I mean, we try our best to, sometimes we have to put it back, sometimes we can move these subscribers into a different cable. We haven't put a monetary value on it, but I'd say it's well over $100,000.
And what are they doing with it? We know that this wouldn't be good if they didn't have a place to sell it.
They're taking it to salvage areas. I don't know if it's area salvage yards, but there's a salvage business around here somewhere that's taking this. It's illegal to take it. These salvage companies are just as guilty as the thieves that's climbing the poles if they're taking this stolen copper in.
Blair says, in fact, that they, during one of the recent thefts, had questioned a lot of area recycling facilities, and then they found one that had indicated that they had not taken any, but a sheriff's deputy had found that they actually had. Foothills no longer uses that facility to recycle their material, which I would imagine was a sizable business. Nevertheless, there's a $5,000 cash reward being offered. If you have any information, call the Johnson County Sheriff's Department, 789-3411, 789-3411, $5,000 in cash. Might make someone a wonderful Valentine's Day, and you would also be doing a service not just to companies, but to the customers as well. More headlines in a moment. Right now, let's get caught up, as we need to, on tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau-sponsored community calendar. I've got some birthdays. Some of them are belated, and that's on me with our programming here for the past couple of days. This one says, happy birthday to Abigail Gibson. Love you, Mommy, Daddy, Brother Caden, family, and friends. I think that was for Monday's program, but nevertheless, a special happy birthday to Abigail. And a happy birthday wish goes out to Yvonne Hager. A happy birthday from Deb, Matt, Lakota, and Chloe. Happy birthday to you, Yvonne. And this one says, please wish our beautiful BB a happy 5th birthday from Sissy, Stacy, and Uncle. And I don't know if it's Tommy or Johnny. It's got a misspelling. With my apologies. She probably knows who I'm talking about. So once again, a happy 5th birthday to their beautiful BB. It is one of the, well, it's their biggest fundraiser of the event. It's one of the biggest Valentine's Day events in the area, hands down, bar none. And since it's going to be so brutally cold, even more reason to check out the Sweetheart Banquet at the Burning Fork Community Church this Saturday, which is Valentine's Day. Every year, hundreds of folks take part and take out even, if you don't want to eat in, the Sweetheart Banquet. It is a wonderfully prepared steak or chicken dinner, quality meat. The service is exceptional, and they've got a dessert room that will certainly fill your sweet tooth issues, and so much more. So steak, salad, or chicken, baked potato, all the fixings, drinks. It's $17 per person. Kids are half price. Cost $349-$6,400 to make reservations. I didn't have the phone number up there. $349-$6,400. Make reservations. You will need to. It's this Saturday at the Burning Fork Community Church. Now on to our next announcement. The Kearney Free Will Baptist Church is having movie night this Saturday. The movie for this month is Fireproof. Admission, there's not one. It's free. Everyone's invited to family movie night at Kearney Free Will Baptist this Saturday at 6 for a special showing of Fireproof. And if you want to start the year and stay tobacco-free, the McGoffin County Health Department and the Kentucky Cancer Program would love to help with a special event set for February the 17th, 3 o'clock. They've got a program set for that time and date. I'll remind you, and if you'd like to call to find out more, 349-6212 is the Health Department's number. And a reminder about the free Bowhunters Education course coming up at the McGoffin County Extension Service is not until Saturday the 28th, but between now and then and closer to now, register. Go to Facebook. Find the McGoffin County 4-H Shooting Sports Facebook page. They'll have a link there to they'll have a link there to register and find out everything you need. This is for anyone 9 years of age or above. You can also call if you have any questions. Their number is 349-3216. Call me if you have a calendar announcement, birthday, anniversary, and the like. And it doesn't happen too awfully often, but if I miss one, make sure you call me then as well. Regardless, all the announcements are free, and the best way to let everyone know what you've got planned. And before I go to other announcements, I have one more. I had some folks from Sayersville City Hall call a few moments ago. They've got what they believe is a red heeler. That's a dog, in case you don't know. It's a male and has some distinguishing characteristics, we'll say. But it's at City Hall. It's been inside City Hall today, having a pretty good afternoon, I think. But it's obviously someone's pet. So if you have any information for them, or if it's your dog, call them. Of course, they're closed right now, but you can call first thing in the morning, 2410, 349-2410, Sayersville City Hall. Turning to funeral service announcements, services were held in honor of 71-year-old Patsy Sue Hampton Cantrell earlier today. She survived by her soulmate Will James, sons Wendell and Greg Cantrell, and daughters Darlene Gamble, Teresa Hughes, and Patricia Esch. She passed away on February the 8th, 71 years of age, from Richmond, formerly of Magoffin County. Services were also held today in Magoffin County for 25-year-old Amanda Stephanie Gibson of Jim Arnett Branch, the daughter of James Robert and Karen K. Gibson, who survived. Also surviving sisters Robin McMahon, Destiny Gamble, and Jessica Gibson, and brothers Terry, Randy, and Joey Cole, and James Kraft. Services once again earlier today in honor of Amanda S. Gibson, who passed away at the age of 25. Services are going to be held tomorrow at 1 o'clock from the Sayersville Funeral Home in honor of 79-year-old Norma Jean Moore Bailey of Royalton Road, who passed away on Saturday, preceded in death by her husband Byron Jr. Bailey. She survived by daughters Rosalie Joseph, Betty Simpkins, Offie Marshall, Sheila Bailey, Tina Bailey, Linda Barnett, and Donna Allen, as well as sons John, James Wendell, Ricky, and Homer Bailey, and Wesley Fletcher. Visitation is this evening, and prior to services, they're set for once again tomorrow at 1. Visitation and services from the Sayersville Funeral Home Chapel. Burial will take place at the Captain Power Cemetery on Lakeville Road thereafter. And we've also learned of the passing of 82-year-old Richard Lee Smithers of Falcon Road in Sayersville, who passed away on Tuesday of this week, preceded in death by his wife Jolene Atkins Smithers and a son, Danny Lee Smithers. He is survived by daughter Angela Slusher and sons Eddie Dean, Jeffrey Cliff, and Lonnie Ray. Funeral services for Mr. Smithers are going to be held this Friday afternoon at 1 from the Sayersville Funeral Home Chapel. Burial will follow services at the Highlands Memorial Park in Staffordsville. The family welcomes friends tomorrow evening from 6 till 10 and any time prior to services on Friday. And from the Magoffin County Funeral Home, 38-year-old Billy W. Caudill of Lexington, formerly of Magoffin County, passed away on Tuesday's date at his home. The son of Carl and Patricia Caudill of Sayersville. Arrangements are incomplete at this time, but to be announced soon by the Magoffin County Funeral Home. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. Down in the home stretch of the high school basketball season, I know the Magoffin County Hornets, the boys that is, are in action. They were set to, if the schedule hasn't changed, be in 3 home games in a row, the first starting tomorrow night. So look for a lot of high school basketball as we wrap up the regular season. And then, of course, we'll start to talk about district play thereafter. That's only a part of a lot of other news that I've got set for the rest of the week. And before I get to your forecast tonight, that's brutal in a lot of respects, let's go over to Johnson County, where we cover the special or regular session rather this week of the Johnson County Fiscal Court. The early part of this week's meeting in the fiscal court there began with Judge Daniels asking for and receiving approval of payment of bills and budget transfers before moving to the sheriff's budget for 2015, which was approved in the amount of more than $572,000.
You have the budget before you, and we did the first reading last month. The receipts anticipated in the Sheriff's Office for 2015 fee account is $572,739. You have the revenue stream on the next page that shows money from state grants of $9,500, Finance Administration Cabinet $120,000, Cabinet for Human Resources $25,000, Sheriff Security Services $11,000, fines and fees collected $43,000. $4,300. Fiscal Court $10,294. County Clerk $35,103. Commissions on taxes collected $259,187. Telecommunications tax $2,300. Sheriff's add-on penalty $38,500. Auto inspection $7,300. Accident reports $2,600. Serving papers $32,400. CCDW $6,180. Fingerprints $700. Transporting prisoners $7,210. Interest earned $100 for total revenues of $572,739.
The vote that followed for that sheriff's budget, as did the vote for the Johnson County Clerk's budget, which totaled $6,172,000, also followed the second reading of both budgets, which were given final approval by the Johnson County Fiscal Court. Judge Daniels then, though, moved on to other business and gave an impassioned statement on the huge loss of road funds that each county and city is experiencing right now because of the swift drop in gasoline prices, which translates into a swift drop in road funding.
Office of Transportation in Pikeville. We have Tim Spencer and Doug Wright, that are engineers in the local office here in Johnson County. They come down every day and offer a synopsis, if you will, of what work they hope to do with rural secondary, and we try to trade lists with them on work we would love to do if we had the money. And I think based on what we were talking about a little while ago, I can't remember 10 times since I've been in office when the light on the horizon was as dark as it is right now. It just seems to me like that with this motor fuels tax issue sitting out there unattended in Frankfort and that clock ticking on the legislature, that you guys could be in serious operating trouble at the cabinet, and counties can be devastated as well as cities. This doesn't really miss anybody. This motor fuels thing impacts the budgets of pretty much every single local government in the state of Kentucky, and certainly the state transportation cabinet. And right now, the damage is already done based on, and I don't think anybody, could be criticized a lot for how it happened, because it happened so quickly. And 3 months ago, wasn't it, or 4 maybe at the most, we spent $3.49 for gas. And I paid less than $2 here in the last month or so, and I paid $2.11, I think, in Lexington Friday. So we've fallen $1.25 pretty much in 3 or 4 months' time. And as you know, that property fuels formula mandates that if the average wholesale price of gas at the pumps goes down a certain amount, then that floor for that motor fuels tax goes down as well. And it's already dropped, I think, in this past quarter down by 4.3 cents or 4.1 cents. And each penny is about roughly $30 million almost. So we're already going to take a hit of about $130 million, as I understand it. No matter what they do, if they choose to support Senator Harris's bill and try to stabilize it where it's at now, there's still going to be a significant amount of loss of revenue for counties and you guys. We've got I just passed out to the commissioners here, meetings I was at the other day. This is so serious. I've never seen a bigger bunch of lobbying people and governmental people, local government people that's on the same page right now.
The judge went on to reiterate that Johnson County has lost about $81,000 right now and stands to lose as much as $280,000 if the legislature doesn't make a move to stabilize things on this front. Daniels, who says he attended a meeting in Frankfort on Friday, said, as you heard, he'd never seen so many lobbyists on the same page. State leaders are looking at the issue of raising the fuel tax in an effort to compensate for the huge loss if fuel prices remain low or continue to slide. The state has already seen a loss of about $130 million, as he said, in fuel tax. Johnson County, I think, has just a little less than 80,000 miles of state-maintained or rural secondary roads in their system. Prior to adjourning, the court appointed a new member to the jail board, approved the sheriff's settlement, and they were updated on the progress of the animal shelter, which is being established on US 460. And all that news leaves me very little time for your Licking Valley RECC forecast. That might be a good thing. Let's focus on the near. A low of 27 tonight, mostly cloudy. A threat of snow showers. Falling temperatures, possibly some hazardous travel will continue for tomorrow and tomorrow evening. Expect some locations to reach the single digits for lows tomorrow night. Friday morning, between a half and a tenth of an inch can be expected of snowfall, up to an inch for a lot of folks. So mostly cloudy tonight. We'll see those temperatures around 27. A slight chance of some rain before 3 a.m. It will change over to snow thereafter. Winds will kick in tomorrow as this Arctic front blows in. Gusts upwards of 24 miles per hour will make snow, squalls, and I don't want to say drifts, but you get the picture, right? Not a great deal of snow, but a lot of wind and cold. Temperatures, well, will certainly make it feel that way. And why have 54 degrees there as your daytime high tomorrow is obviously a misprint. It was going to be temperatures falling to around 21 by 5 o'clock tomorrow. A complete misprint. My apologies. Makes no sense. So blustery, a chance of snow, and all that snow really will be hitting right around the time school starts, 7 to 10 a.m. tomorrow, so keep that in mind. We will calm down for Friday with a high of 29, some sunshine, and it'll be decently clear start to finish Friday. Saturday, we get close to freezing for daytime highs. Clouds, another chance of some snow, one of about 2 or 3 more just in the forecast period, all part of what could be even more than that as far as winter activity is concerned over the next week or so. So tonight and tomorrow, a serious but glancing blow in comparison to what we may be seeing in the days to come. For now, that's my time. Thank you for being a part of it. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.